All right, guys. Let me get my little swig of water right quick before I get to talking here. Pretty good. Anyway, had a couple things on my mind here. I know we all trying to get over what this fiasco that they called a debate. So I ain't gonna say no more about it. If you want to hear what I gotta say about it, check my part 1 and 2 part 2 videos out about what in the world what in the presidential debates is going on. It was posted yesterday on September 30th. Check that out. But I got a couple of suggestions on how to deal with this pre-election blues and what may help not only calm you down, but may even help you feel better. This is DJ Wolf Live. All right, guys and gals. This is what's on my mind right now here, currently. One of the things I thought about, because I've been eating like the last few months, even though this is the time of year where I start eating more. What's wrong with these people? This is the time of year I start eating a little bit more, although I try to eat a lot less. But so far I've been doing pretty good. I haven't really been eating really heavy this year because, of course, there's been no picnics, there's been no cookouts, at least none that I know of or were invited to, because of COVID-19 and all this mess is going on right now. So I don't, and maybe one day out the week and the weekend I might pig out or something if I'm watching a movie or something like that. But otherwise, I don't do all that. During the week, I eat very light. Like today, I had a couple of fruit cups. Actually, I didn't even eat one because I was working, and I just ate one just now. So I felt good. I've been drinking mostly water and coffee. My coffee, I don't even put, for the most part, I don't even put sugar in. As a matter of fact, I don't even put cream. I put no creamer. Creamer really, for me, especially if you can't handle all that, that milk, the cream in your system like that. I tend not to put it in my coffee too much. Very rarely do I even use it. I feel so much better drinking the coffee black and just a little bit of sugar. That's it. Maybe less than a half a teaspoon. But at least it takes some of the bitterness out, And that's even without the creamer, And actually, truthfully, I'm more alert because I get more of the caffeine in my system. It doesn't dilute the caffeine when I put creamer. I know people who put a pound of creamer in their daggone coffee. My son does it too. I was like, what are you doing? Yeah, you drinking more cream than anything else. I don't like that much cream in my coffee. I really don't. I remember my dad, God rest his soul, my dad used to put a couple of little things. They used little tiny creamers in there. That's it. He's like, that's all you need, son. He was right. That's all you needed. That extra cream, because you're diluting the caffeine. That's the whole purpose of having coffee in the morning, so it could perk you up. But I used to drink mine black, and I'll tell you one time, it was a few years ago. I used to go to the machines and get my coffee from there, and get it black with just sugar. Not a lot of sugar, but just enough. Just maybe about a teaspoon or half a teaspoon. And I was losing weight. I would get that and get like a very light lunch, like a salad or something. Dinner, have a light dinner. Maybe salad or something like that. Something really light. That's it. Work out. Something I ain't been doing in a while because the gyms have closed and all that other stuff is going on. But otherwise, I've been doing fairly well. Actually, I ain't gonna lie, I lost, since I've been doing this for the last maybe month or so, I lost about 5-6 pounds. I haven't gained any weight. That's the good thing. So that's one of the things that I do. I'm not stressing myself by eating down my gourd because I'm depressed about what's going on now. I try to think a light positive about things, man. I'm not going to always think that way, but there's times when you want to get out of that sunken place mood, you know? Well, that's a great statement. Sunken place. Get out the sunken place, you know? And that's what I'm going to title this video. I mean, video podcast. Get out the sunken place. Anyway, so the other thing that I thought about, I was thinking about it all week. Get yourself back to, some kind of spirituality. Specifically, if you're into the word of Jesus Christ. I thought about that, real talk, because I was thinking about the fact that I hadn't been in church, had been in regular service since early March, and I miss going. Now we like a number of us across the country may either do Zoom through our churches, or you might do a live watch it on YouTube with a live broadcast, which, by the way, I will be performing in another 2 weeks with my church, but that's another story. But anyway, at least with that, it does make you feel good. You're at home, but it's not the same. It's not the same interaction. But the fact that you can sit there and be able to continue to get the word of God, and all that. But I thought about, for me personally, maybe I should start back reading more. Denzel Washington, I heard, from when I was reading something about it, they say he reads his Bible every day. Matter of fact, I think Denzel, if I'm not mistaken, father was a pastor, if I'm not mistaken. See, he was raised in the church, from what I heard. My mother used to like claim that too. She still claimed that. You was raised in your son. Well, technically, I wasn't. I didn't really start going to church on a regular basis until I was 14. But that's a long story. I won't go into that. Maybe one day I will talk about it. But there's one thing that they do say, and I do believe it's true. The family that prays together stays together. Not sure why I believe that, but I do believe that. I'll talk about that in another podcast too. Anyway, I'm going to talk about a couple things regarding that. Maybe not on this channel, on my other channel. I may be talking about that real soon, because I think it needs to be addressed, and why I started going back to church 8 years ago on a regular basis anyway. That's going to be in the podcast on my other channel. I will send you a link, not this time, but I'll talk about it. I'll give you a heads up on it when I do it. Probably be the Sunday, matter of fact. But I kind of feel when you get that word, that acknowledgement about, having a moral ground in your life, having a moral compass in your life, man, it actually allows you to think positive, stay positive. It also allows you to renew your faith. A sense of hope, a sense of even belonging. Even though you don't belong to any specific group or organization, you sense that your heart belongs to God. I live with that thought almost daily. I don't read the book like I should. We do, my wife and I, this is what my wife and I do every Sunday morning before we have Sunday school on Zoom. Every Sunday morning, we take out our books, our Sunday school books, and we go through it like a fine-tooth comb from beginning to end. And we read our lesson an hour, or at least a half hour before we start. That way we refresh and we have a good thought of mind about what the lesson's about, and we can talk over it. But I am going to get back to the word. I actually have a men's Bible. I got to take it out of my truck. No, actually, it's not truck. Anyway, I'm going to start back reading. I really am. This is for myself and to renew my faith in the Lord. Because this world, I'm going to tell you, this world is so evil, man. And Tuesday, was it Monday night or Tuesday? Well, anyway, when they had the debate, the debate itself opened up my mind into realizing how unworldly this country and this world is. It opened my mind to how dangerous man is, and how evil and destructive man can really be and are. You know, Joe Biden, who's not perfect, and I will say that. You know, he's done some he's done and said some dirt too. But Trump, being an incumbent president, had to be called to the carpet. Bottom line, you know, and you can't depend on man to save your world. I realize that. You need God to save your world. You need God as a healer and a provider to keep you, to keep you grounded. Because this world's so evil, man. It's so treacherous anymore. It's, we don't know if that COVID-19 was man-made or not. Although my guess is that it was. It's still my guess. I had some valid theories on it too that I've also posted on here about several months ago. One of them they kind of downplayed. I still believe it was true, but anyway, it just, I don't know, man. But it does renew my faith in God. It renews my faith that I know that there is a God out there that's going to get us through this storm. And I know when I sing in the church, man, a lot of times that's how I feel. I mean, it was alright.
But you'll be singing this if he's going no point another.
No, it's not. You sing for the Lord. You do sing to the choir. I mean, you sing with the choir, and you sing to the congregation. But you are, in essence, singing for the Lord. I use my voice as a vessel to sing for the Lord, to the masses. And I feel good when I do it. That's the thing about it. When I'm crying out. I'm literally crying out when I sing. And I've been told that people say, man, you sing from your heart, man. And I'm not saying to be bragging, because it's true. I've had people say it. I didn't think that I sounded that great, but people say that, we can tell that you have that in you to bring it out. And that is what I try to do. Everything I try to do either do from the heart, do from a labor of love, or do it out of necessity. That should be our end game of life. I was thinking about that earlier also. I said, you're going to have people out there who's not going to be a rider for you. People just aren't, not everybody, people aren't like that, Not everybody's going to ever be your friend. When you think is your kind, is going to be your friend. That's just not going to happen. That's never going to happen. People going to have the likes, they're going to have the dislikes about you. Prejudices, But for the most part, I try to live my life where I'm like an open book. Not my life story. Well, I guess somewhat is, but I'm not an open book. But I'm an open book to ideas and understandings of other people's, views on life. I always have been. I may not always agree with it, but I have an open book about it. Say, okay, I'm open to hear what you guys say. I don't try to close my mind because I may not necessarily agree with you, but I do try to at least give an open ear to what's in your heart. And I think that's the problem with the world today. And when you look at guys like Trump, his mind is closed to the world. He's open to anything that he can take advantage of. That's a known fact. He loves to keep his mind open about anything that will allow him to take advantage of people, or allow him to be a rider for people who will ride for him in all his evilness. Yeah. And when somebody see that's wrong about what he's doing, and they open their eyes up, guess what he does? He throws them right under the bus. You know, he's literally almost stopping at nothing to get his way. Even to a point where it's like, well, if Biden wins, it's fake news. It's fake election. Everything's fake. You know, there's nothing wrong with having an open mind to certain views, but you gotta also use logic. See, a lot of these people that follow Trump, their mind is only focused on one thing, that he's going to get them back to the way things were. No. This is 2020. You can never go back to the way things were. And you should never go back to the way things were. The way things were was horrible. Trust me. Horrible. You know, some people doesn't want, most of us that has common sense ain't trying to go back to old ways of the old ways. You know? He doesn't see the mind, and his base don't either. It's greed. It's evil. It's pure evil. It's pure greed, too, because they feel like, oh, well, you guys are taking all our resources and our jobs. No. You have to understand something. I told the guy, this is a true story. I actually was I probably told the story before. I was in Atlanta. All right? I was in Atlanta years ago on a business trip. And I stayed at this hotel. Right? So this guy come up, we at the bar. I'm at the bar watching the game. White guy in the bar next to me, right? Talking to him. And he said, you know what? And this no bullshit. This is exactly what he said. This long before Trump got elected. Before we even talked about it. He said, you know what make America great? Capitalism. His very words. I'll never forget it. This is back in 2003. I'm like within minutes of the Mecca of the civil rights movement. Right down the street. Right down. Matter of fact, I walked there. That's how close I was. I literally walked down the street. The Mecca where the King Center, Ebenezer Baptist Church, the old, where Dr. King preached at, and the new one. SNCC offices were there. They still there. It's I don't know if it's a museum or what, but yeah, the original offices I think are still over there. And Dr. King's house. And Dr. King's tomb. All right over there. So when this guy in the bar telling me this shit, right there, within a couple of blocks from there, really, within a few blocks, from all that started, that ignited the civil rights movement, the home, the Mecca, all right? I got another story to tell you about that in a minute. But he said, quote, this was long before Donald Trump started talking about running for office. Quote, this guy said that. You know what makes America great? Capitalism. His very words. Capitalism. That's the whole idea behind Trump. Capitalism. Yeah. And I told this guy straight out, straight ass. Excuse my French. Straight up. I told him, you know what makes America great? And you know who made America great? And this is before you became a slogan. Make America great again. I said, you know what made America great? The backs of people of color. We made America great. I said this long before all that came out in 2003. No bullshit. Excuse my French. I said that. I called him out. And I told him, I said, and don't you forget it. Got my drink, got the hell out of there. There was two black women sitting there. Of course, they didn't say a word. I think they were in some group or something. They didn't have a damn thing to say to him. In fact, they didn't say anything. They just looked over at me like I was crazy. Because I was about to go there. Real talk. Just glad I didn't. Yeah. He probably was somebody who was in Trump's camp. Who knows? I don't know. I don't remember. I don't care. But that's what he was saying. Talking about what makes America great. And ever since I heard that, I said, I bet you he was associated with Trump. Because I thought about that. So he probably was a Trump rider. Because anybody talk like that obviously is a Trump rider. He's a rider somewhere for somebody like Trump. No question about that. But ever since I heard that, I said, this is some bitch. It's some bitch. The first thing I said, it's some bitch. You're riding for Trump. He probably was. But nevertheless, my point of it is this. My point is that we need to call this foolishness out. Now, of course, you heard Trump with his fake outrage, because he didn't have any outrage, really. And it's kind of funny that Biden happened to mention the Proud Boys, because Trump was like, "Who we talking about here? Give me a name," as though he didn't know anything about racism. Which we all know is a lie. Because the moment he said Proud Boys, stand down, stand by, you know what he's talking about. And then he turned around and said he immediately went into about the left, violent left people. He immediately started saying that. So you know he full of shit. He knew. Anybody who don't think he wasn't about that is a total idiot. He's a total idiot. He really is. He's a total idiot. And they're total idiots too. They all need to be locked up. Straight up. Including him. My take is this. If you really, 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 really want peace and harmony in this country, you gotta apply the law evenly to any and everyone who commit criminal acts of behavior. And I'm talking about criminal acts. That includes Trump. You know? But you gotta start with people like him and his minions, including the Proud Boys. You want to start something? Okay, we're going to lock y'all up. He worried about the left, quote-unquote, alleged left violent protesters. He ain't worried about the white violent protesters because he never called them out. Think about it. Not didn't say not a word about it. Not a word about it. Never denounced it. He never even denounced white supremacy. And the way I'm kind of glad Joe Biden did call that out, because if he called out, he could specifically target them. But then on the other hand, you actually kind of give them food for thought. You know, so I don't know. But Biden never called him out. You know, I wish they'd asked them both that same question. If Chris Wallace had done it right, that question would have applied to both. And it should have. But my thing is, until they stop getting away with that shit, and I'm talking about Proud Boys and any other white supremacist groups, until we have a president who ain't acting like no bitch, who got balls to say, look, we putting to stop this right now. Any law enforcement official who get out of line, who blatantly murders civilians, will go to trial, and if convicted, will go to jail. Bottom line. He never addressed any of that because he's a one-sided person. He has a one-sided, one-track mind. His mind is about power and nothing else. This guy, you know, and that's what I'm trying to get at. Until we can get the mindset of people like this out of office and off the streets, yeah, maybe we might come to a perfect union. Maybe. That's all I got. Just wanted to get my 2 cents in, man. Of course, since the election hasn't started yet, it's about a little over a month away, and the next broadcast of the presidential debates, my understanding, ain't until next week. We'll have more to talk about in the back room. So for now, this is DJ Wolf.